So the group of students that I've decided to pull out all needed help adding citation to make their writing stronger, which is always obviously going to help them support their claim if they have evidence to support their claim, not just personal opinion or some elaboration on topics touched on by the author. So what I'm going to be doing is pulling those students out, having a general conversation that refers back to the rubric, refers back to the post that we were talking about, criteria for a good analysis, and then having them look at the rubric, which I've already highlighted for them. I made sure that when I was looking for student work,
it was within these.
Exactly. Okay. And then what I'm going to be having them do is read their paragraph again and talking about an area that they feel they could support better if they used evidence.
Right.
And then having them go back to the article and look for a place they've already annotated because they probably have the evidence.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to hope to accomplish is showing them explicitly how to take a piece they already found and support an idea that's already in their writing and just adding that piece of evidence.
So support it.
That's going to be our goal today.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much for meeting with me. I think you guys all had some strong areas to start out with, but I was just wondering if you could share what you thought of the activity.
I like that we got to work in a group and stuff.
Okay, so you felt like the group work supported you a little bit? Okay. How about the sentence frames? Did you guys feel like you used them, or did you feel like you didn't end up using them very much?
I think we used them a little.
A little bit? How did you use the sentence frames?
I think we used the paper we got and
right here. Oh, not on the back of your rubric. This is your rubric. So the sentence frames, you used them a little bit when you were having your conversation in a group, or when you were trying to write?
We used it in a group, but I lost that paper when I was trying to write.
Okay, so in your group, you looked at the sentence frames, but then when you actually went to write, you didn't use them as much because you had lost your paper?
Yeah.
I didn't use it much because I thought it would be a little harder using them, so I just went with different.
Okay, so the sentence frames made it seem more difficult than easy. Is it because the words in the frame you thought were difficult, or they just kind of felt awkward to use?
It felt hard.
It felt hard to use. Okay, so you prefer to just use your own words. Okay, that's really good information for me. Thank you for sharing your perspective on those. I noticed a lot of people didn't use them, but I wasn't really sure why, so that gives me a good idea on maybe why. Maybe we can work on making better sentence frames for you next time that felt a little bit more natural. All right, so let's take a minute to look at our writing and see how we did. Can you guys all find your rubrics? They should be right behind your writing. All right, so what I've done is I've used my highlighter to kind of underline or highlight the things that I thought where you guys' papers were now. And what we're gonna work on together as a small group is moving from this side more over to this side, because what I saw in all of your papers were really good starts to ideas, but places that maybe didn't use citations and didn't elaborate. And that's what we talked about yesterday, is really being our focus, is that citation and elaboration. So what does the word insufficient mean?
Not enough.
Not enough. Not enough citations. Did you guys feel when you were writing like you were using enough, or did you think, oh, I'll get to that later?
I was using enough.
You weren't using enough. Was it on purpose, or you didn't realize you weren't using enough?
I didn't realize.
You didn't realize?
What are citations again?
Oh, good question. Who can help her with that? What are citations?
It's when you take evidence from the text.
Oh.
So it's just another way, it's just another word that we use for evidence. So citations is how you put your evidence into your paper.
Yeah.
So tell me how you usually use your annotations.
I usually look at the notes on the right or the left on the margins.
Okay, so rather than looking at the underlined, you really look just at the notes?
Yeah.
Okay, and how does that help you when you write?
I feel like I can put those facts inside my writing.
You feel like you can put those facts inside your writing. And when you put it inside your writing, do you put it inside as a quotation, or do you put it inside as a summary like you've written on the edge?
Like a summary, because I didn't really take exact words from the article.
Okay. And I think that really helps me know where we can move today, because what I want to look at is how we can use this summary that you wrote, but also link it to a direct piece of evidence. So putting both in our writing instead of just one or the other. All right, so let's look back at our writing. And let's look first for places that we can go back and maybe add some citations or evidence. So I want everyone to reread their paragraph right now so it's fresh in their mind. All right, so I'm gonna peek at yours. It says, there has to be reasons to explain why it's both either negative or positive, but my explanation for it being negative is because fear is kind of like a disease of the mind when it is too overpowering. I agree with you. Could you find somewhere in the text, and I'm gonna let you work on this while I look at theirs, see if you can find a direct piece of evidence from this article to support the idea, because that's your idea. Now we want you to use evidence the author wrote. Okay? And then when you find it, I want you to write it right down here. Okay. All right. And which one did you find?
I don't know where to find where it says that fears are bad. Like, I can't find one that makes it bad except for these ones, and it doesn't really match what I said.
Okay, well, let's look at it together and see. Okay, you're right. So I like how you realize that even though you like this paragraph, it doesn't match what you wrote. So that's a really, really good thing that you realized that. So rather than just writing it down because it's a quote, you realized it didn't match. So let's look and see if we can find something together that does match, because your ideas that are here are already very good.
Phobias.
You're referring to phobias. Okay,
Yeah.
so what does the first sentence under the heading phobias say?
A phobia is an intense fear reaction to a particular thing or a situation.
Okay, keep going.
With a phobia, the fear is out of proportion to the potential danger. But the person with the phobia, the danger feels real because the fear is very strong.
Okay, do you like any of those sentences to support that idea of too overpowering?
Yeah, like
Which one?
where it says, with a phobia, the fear is out of proportion to the potential danger.
Perfect. I think that absolutely supports what you had to say. I just want to thank you so much for working with me. I hope that just this small activity helped you guys learn a little bit more about how to use direct evidence from an article or an expository piece and using it to support the ideas you already have. So in order to make a really strong piece of writing, we need both. We need the citation, the evidence from the article, and then the elaboration on it. So your ideas were some of the elaboration, but we really want to tie them together with evidence from the text. Otherwise, it just sounds like it's all your ideas, and we want to make sure we cite the author and give the article credit as well. Does that make sense? All right, before we wrap up, I'm hoping I can hear from you guys and hear just maybe one simple thing you learned from our conversation today, or one thing that you think you're going to try in class next time when you do a writing activity.
I'm going to read the text a little more slower because I think I read the text too fast and used it in my own words instead of trying to use it from the text.
Okay. How about you?
Like to cite the article more. And
Okay, so
use the quotes in my writing.
Excellent. I think that'll help make your writing even stronger.
Like, I'll find an idea that sounds good, and then I'll try to find a quote that matches with it.
Okay, so start with your own ideas and find a citation that matches it. Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing your ideas with me. I look forward to seeing your writing in the future.